Hello there, welcome to the newspaper review. My name is William Zabule, and on this program we bring you headlines across newspapers around Nigeria. We're reaching you from the city of Port Harcourt here in Nigeria, Rivers State. All right, if you're watching this for the first time, do well to subscribe to this channel so you'll stay connected every time we bring a new episode of the program. And to do the headlines with me today is Mr. Victor Sioku.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm very well.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yes, it's Friday. It's the start of the weekend. Hope you have some very interesting ways of resting or, getting your weekend started off, all right? Because that's what I'm going to do. We have some matches coming up this weekend, and I will ensure that I watch maybe one or two, despite my very busy schedule coming up this weekend. All right, so do well to join us on the program by dropping your comments and your reactions on the comment section. We'd love to hear what you think about the headlines we'll be talking about in a very short while. All right, if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do so. All right, today we begin our newspaper reading from Nigerian Tribune for today, the 27th of January 2023. And on Nigerian Tribune, we have as headline here, "Leave us out of your problem with Buhari, Atiku's team tells Tinubu." You find that story on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. We also see as headline, "Put an end to fuel. Put end to fuel. New Naira notes crisis now." Jerry Ghana tells federal government. Vining College honors Awolowo, Dozomu Jogumogobia orders. All right, you find stories. That story on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. As a main headline here, we see Naira notes. NAS leaders to meet Buhari, reps threaten Emefiele with arrest warrant. NSA calls for extension of deadline, says policy not well thought out. 5 days to end of currency exchange, business outfits begin rejection of old notes. All of that details you find on page 2 and 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. Just right under that, another headline we see there is Osun Tribunal judgment. Police warn against violence, threaten to deal with troublemakers. All right, that story, there's an update, and I'm going to give you that update in a very short while. But let's continue with the headlines still on Nigerian Tribune. We see here as headline, airstrike, 40 killed, Nasarawa governor confirms. You find details of that on page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune. So let's go back to the tribunal story in Osun State. So there's breaking news. There is a new development as regards that story, and the breaking news is that the tribunal holding in Osun State has annulled Adeleke's election and has also declared Oyetola the new Osun State governor. Is that not a shocking one? Let me just give you a little details of that outcome as reported by Punch newspaper. It says here, the election petitions tribunal hearing the All Progressive Congress Oyetola's petition against the victory of the People's Democratic Party's Ademola Adeleke on Friday annulled the result of the July 16th Osun governorship poll. Justice Setse Kume, while delivering a majority decision, declared that the Independent National Electoral Commission did not comply substantially with the Constitution and provisions of the Electoral Act. He subsequently deducted the overvoting observed from the votes scored by the candidates and declared that Oyetola won the election, having polled 314,921, while Adeleke's score came down to 290,266. He directed INEC to withdraw Adeleke's certificate of return and issue another one to Oyetola, who won a majority of the lawful votes. Wow, this is a very, very shocking breaking news, and I wonder how the people of Osun State is going to react to it. But before we, pay attention to Osun State, how do you react to this story? What would you say has gone down?
Okay, so this judgment has caused, blemishes. It has caused a big dent on INEC.
Yeah.
So you ask, why would INEC declare a result of those high numbers Then afterwards, the tribunal, with their own investigations, now declared that there was over-voting.
After they said that because of the beavers, the elections cannot be manipulated. So what are they telling us? What is going on?
So who is, you also asked the question too, who is telling us the truth?
Is it the tribunal? Are they manipulating this? Or INEC? It's a very, very...
And you know, we're currently, Nigeria is facing a period of confusion right now. Just like when you ask, what is causing the fuel scarcity? We don't know. What is causing the manipulation of not having Naira, the new Naira in the banks? We don't even know. So we don't know whether we should blame, like, when it comes to fuel scarcity, we don't know whether you should blame the Ministry of Petroleum, which is being headed by our Baba, okay? Or do you blame it to the marketers? Or do you even blame it to the NNPC that is a private company? Now to the Naira, are you going to blame the banks, or will you blame the CBN to know whether they even produce more notes than required? Now to this, do you not blame INEC, or do you not blame the judiciary? Mind you, something like this also happened in Imo State. Okay, so fingers are being pointed. Could it just be that the APC, in their power, sorry, the judge has done, the panel has done their thing. Yes, it was 2-1. But I know Nigerians will ask that question. The same thing that happened in Imo State, is it repeating itself in Osun State, where you had the PDP candidate losing power to the APC through the tribunal. Same thing is happening now. And I know that the PDP will come out and throw some fire. Okay? But yes, Ademola Adeleke, that senator, somebody said that if that senator is that sent away from this position. Wow. So, but now he has declared that he will fight till the end, meaning that he will be going to appeal the case. But now you just also ask. The case being submitted by Oyetola, like, should I call him or former governor? I do not know. But the APC candidate, okay. The case that he drops is that, see, that the votes were over the numbers. One, he also prayed to the court that Adeleke isn't qualified to become the candidate of the PDP. And he also came out to also mention that Adeleke WAEC result is still an issue.
It's a tough one.
My brother, are we living? Is it that we cannot even develop in this democracy? Because come to think of it, this is since 1999. The child that was born in 1999 up till now, come on. We should have locked up. Is it that Nigeria that our own case is usually different? So, but mind you, I will always stand for the person that has won the election. It might just still be that the APC won. But the question is that why all this confusion in a time like this? So there is a lot to scrutinize about this. There is a lot to put the microscope on, because it's quite a complex situation right now. And I just don't know how Nigerians will feel with respect to INEC about this news. And
you know, looking at the matter on ground, knowing very well that this is happening few weeks to the general elections, like you rightly said, it just puts a huge dent on INEC's credibility. What has happened is the fact that the tribunal judgment is coming on the premise of, you know, votes, directing it to INEC, saying that, okay, some votes were over counted. I mean, how did they get there? So where did these extra votes come from? Does it mean that INEC's beavers or computerized election, as it were, is very porous? Does it mean that the APC government or the government in power are just looking at the rest of the candidates and say, okay, people should, don't worry, we already have it, don't worry, we have it under control. So, you know, it's worrisome. It's worrisome, and it raises a lot of questions. Even in my head, there are a lot of questions I cannot be asking here, but I'm wondering what has really happened. And let's see what, you know, the governor's appeal would turn out to be, but at this time, he has been asked to leave the office, and Oyetola gets back in. It's a very, very troubling story, but Nigerians are watching. I hope that INEC will find a way to make it obvious that, or to make it real to Nigerians that this maybe is an error or something, because votes overcounted. Hey,
anytime like this,
my brother, this one is disturbing. But then we'll move on to other stories, and right now we'll be moving on to the These Day newspaper for today, the 27th of January. All right, we're still here on the News Super Review here on TAP TV. All right, if you've noticed, it looks as if we have moved. All right, that's because the wind here in Port Harcourt is about to rain, and the wind is heavy. So we couldn't continue with our backdrops. We apologize if this has caused any change in your current outlook. But we're going to continue with the headlines. That notwithstanding, we're going to continue with the headlines before the rain starts coming down. All right, so we're going to continue with this day newspaper for today, the 27th of January 2023. And on this day, we have as headline here, CBN stops dollar charges on domestic card transactions. Emefiele unveils new national card scheme. Afrigo says initiative to boost financial inclusion, enhance data sovereignty, offer lower charges. Others explains effort not to restrain international service providers. And we'll move straight to the main headline here on this day newspaper. It says, in battle against independent monetary policy, House threatens Emefiele. Banks to lawmakers. We are getting new banknotes dispensing through ATMs. CBN sustains sensitization, monitoring of cash swap policy, Naira redesign project. Seeks traditional rulers support ahead of January 31st deadline. All right, Mr. Victor, let's just go straight to talk about a very catchy story here, which is, the story about the new Naira notes. It's been on for weeks now, especially since we're very close to the deadline of, switching from the old to the new Naira notes. And yet, a lot of people are yet to lay their hands on these new notes. Most ATMs around Port Harcourt up till this morning still don't have the new notes. We're still dispensing the old ones. How do you react to the threat of the National Assembly to arrest Emefiele?
Well, it's quite laughable, and I think Nigerians might just also analyze this from the angle I'm coming from now. We find out that just recently in Abeokuta, the APC candidate, the presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, wasn't happy about the change in Naira notes. And if you notice, on his right hand, you saw the person of Gbajabiamila, who is the current speaker of the House of Representatives. Yeah. So him coming out just barely less than 48 hours to threaten to arrest the CBN also tells you that he is following, personally I think he is following the command of his boss. Okay. Then you wonder, why is it that the Senate has not said anything about it? And mind you, the Senate president seems not to be campaigning vigorously for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So, but the question now is, if Gbajabiamila is taking it upon himself, what then happens with the Senate, which is the upper chamber? When, at the end of the day, you find out that, okay, you are gaining ground, or let's say you are going against the will of the CBN, which happens to be an independent body, just like the INEC. Yeah. You cannot force them to do your billing. Reason, because they have their acts, they have laws that is governing them. And the CBN governor is not even going against the law, because there are sections of the constitution whereby, of their own acts rather, whereby you can change the notes within 90 days. And he has followed the rules. But yes, we are having issues as citizens because these monies have not been made available. And we don't even know who to point fingers at. Is it the banks or the CBN? So, for me, I think him threatening to arrest the CBN doesn't make a huge point, okay? because just even recently, the president, who is the chief of the armed forces of the country, who is the head of the country, has come out to say, see, the deadline of 31st, he came out on Daily Trust, the interview came out. He said that, see, Nigeria should stop, some people should stop going gaga over this. Enough time has been given. Go and bring out your old notes and go and submit to the banks. Or come 31st,
You will lose those money.
you will lose these monies. Okay? So, just like other people have said, see, we just have to embrace this. 31st should come, and Nigeria should find a way, and this will pass, and we'll focus on the next problem, because the problem no dey finish for this country. So I think he is working through the rules, or I say by being engaged by his boss. As simple as that.
All right, thank you very much. Unfortunately, that's where we're going to draw the curtains today. The rains are finally here. It's coming hard, and we have to say goodbyes so early today. And thank you so much for watching. Until tomorrow, or till next time we come your way again, you stay tuned to TAP TV, and thank you for watching. My name is William Sabule, and this has been the News Super Review on TAP TV.
I need soap to have my I need soap to have my night
Oh, inside the rain, right? All right, see you next time.